here. If you're new, then welcome. Well, if you aren't, then you know what's coming. Yep, we're coming with 10 lists of anime that is very recommended for you to put on your watch list. But today, we're gonna talk about an anime movie. So without further ado, let's get started. Coming up on number 1, we have Spirited Away, or in Japanese, it was called Sento Chihiro no Kamikakushi. This is the first anime movie that I ever watched, and I absolutely fall in love with how they create this fantasy and make it extraordinary. So, the story is about a 10-year-old girl named Chihiro, and her parents move into their new neighborhood and stumble over an abandoned amusement park. After her parents turn into a giant pig, Chihiro then meets Haku, which has the same physique as her. Haku said that this place was a resort for a supernatural being who need a break from their time spent in the earthly realm, and she must work really hard to save herself and her parents. Along with the movie, I just like how this duo, which is Min Chihiro and Haku, being a true meaning of friendship, well said that they just met. On number 2, we have My Neighbor Totoro, or in Japanese it was called Tonari to Totoro. The story is about a schoolgirl, Satsuke, and her younger sister Mei move to the countryside for their mother medical needs and meet a massive cuddly creature known as Totoro. Unlike the other children cartoon that I watched, the spirit doesn't look like a ghost or something look like phantom, but it was a cute cuddleable fairy creature that I was shocked to know this was a supernatural genre. On number 3, we have The Girl Who Lived Through Time, or in Japanese it was called Tokio Kakeru Sojo. I swear to myself, I just heard about this anime movie. So basically, the story is about a Japanese high school girl, Makoto Kono, who gains time travel and repeatedly relives the same day in a time loop but with different story and character. Like in this new version of her, she's more capable of any subject such as math, sports, and other. But less than she knows, she is also affecting other people. This movie got some romance too, not gonna lie. So yeah, give it a try, lads and lads. On number 4, we had The Garden of Words, or in Japanese, it was called Kotonoha no Niwa. The title are pretty. Basically, I have not watched this movie, but I saw the scene where the boy confessed to the woman, and like, boom, I'll put this on my watch list. And so do y'all. So the story is about the boy named Tako Akizuki, an inspiring shoemaker, decided to skip class to sketch design in a beautiful garden. There is where he met Yukari Yukino, a beautiful yet mysterious woman. Although Tako's first attention was making her shoes, they met often and realized how much they are comfortable with each other. On number 5, we had Your Name, or in Japanese it was called Kimi no Nawa. Mada kono sekai wa まだこの世界は Okay, funny thing about this movie is like I've heard this a lot, but still not watching it. Okay, so the story is about basically a boy and a girl switch soul, but the body is still the same as they are present now. Mitsuha Miyamizu, a high school girl who had enough with living in the countryside and want to live a life of a boy in Tokyo. In other side, we had Taki Tachibana, a high school boy who was struggling with his school life and a part-time jobs. As they seemed waking up in different bodies, they decided to start searching for one another. On number 6, we had A Silent Voice, or in Japanese it was called Koe no Katachi. Please don't remind me anything about this movie. I watched it after Spirited Away and this anime got me crying. What the heck? So the story is about an elementary school student, Soya Ishida, who liked to create a mess for just not to get bored. Then a deaf girl named Shoko Nishimiya transferred into his high school and Ishida starts to bully her in the cruelest way as possible. But as he reached third grade of high school, he started to regret everything that he did. He started looking for Shoko, apologized to her, and started to make a new relationship with her. As I told you before, this movie got me crying. I mean it. You'll get this mix of emotions such as happy, angry, and of course, sad. On number 7, we had Howl's Moving Castle, or in Japanese, it was called Howl no Ugokoshiro. Yet another anime movie I heard but still not watching it. But one thing that I love about Howl's Moving Castle is the OST. You feel like you're living in a year of 17s where Moses starts to produce songs. So the story is about a girl named Sophie Haite who was cursed by the witch of the waste, turning Sophie into an old woman. In a way to get her back into normal, Sophie must accompany Howl, and his other companions to break the curse, living on Howell's moving castle. That's all I can afford to you guys because I don't want any spoilers ahead. Okay. On number 8, we had Wolf Children, or in Japanese, it was called Okami Kodomo no Ame Toyuki. Hana, a hardworking college student, falls in love with an unknown man who turns out to be a human wolf, or werewolf, whatever you guys call it. They decided to start a family and finally have two kids, Ame, who was born during a rainfall, and Yuki, who was born during a snowfall. Bad things happened when the father died and left the wife Hana to raise the children on her own. So she decided to move to the countryside to make the kids be freely from the judgment that society in the city will create. Can't believe we're at number 9 already. On this spot we had Princess Mononoke, or in Japanese it was called Mononoke Hime. So the story is about a prince from an Emishi village, Ashitaka, who was cursed by a demon boar by giving him evil power while consuming his life. I mean Ashitaka's life. Then he seeks for cure to the west and arrives at Tatara. The Iron town was on a fierce conflict between Lady Eboshi and Princess Sun. The reason is because Lady Eboshi commanded deforestation, while Princess Sun and the sacred spirits of the forest were not accepting that. While the two sides were having a war, Ashitaka helped seek peace between those two. This movie really describes how people are definitely destroying nature just for their own needs. This, but since the nature doesn't talk or act like in this movie, mankind still do the same and doesn't change. Good job, Hayao Miyazaki. And we're finally at the last part of the video, but not the end. On number 10, we had Into the Forest of Fireflies, or in Japanese, it was called Hotarubi no Morie. When I first looked at the poster, I realized that I always see this masked boy on anime edit and then oop, so that the boy was on this movie. So the story is about a 6-year-old girl named Hotaru Takegawa who was lost in the forest when he met Gin, a mysterious masked boy. Overjoyed by seeing a human like her in the forest, she immediately runs to him, but Gin shoves her away. Hotaru finally realized that Gin was suffer from a curse that whenever he touched human being, he will slowly begin to disappear. As the time passed, they finally realized their feelings toward each other and finally trying to break their boundaries that destiny has set between them. So there we go. We had our 10 lists of anime movie that you should put on your watch list. Happy watching guys, and let me know about what you think about the movie in the comment section. Don't forget to leave a like and kindly subscribe to support our channel. See you in the next video and have a great day.